just in case you did need that.
I needed that, yeah.
Just in case you might not know, that's Barry. This is Robin. This is Morris. And this is Andy. Robert Stigwood.
I guess you just blew a contract with him.
Are you better?
Yes, much better, thank you.
Because you were...
Sorry I missed it.
The boys were here about 6 months ago and you were ill.
Yes, I had a very bad...
Galloping flu. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was worse than that. I didn't even know that. I'm so sorry.
No, the Los Angeles bug, I think it was called at the time.
Was that? Yes, that was going around. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
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 Right.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Bye.
No, we haven't. I'm glad to see you all again.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, you didn't see me before, but...
No.
Nice to see you guys back on the show.
How have you stood this for 11 years? Do they ever have a serious conversation with you, Mr. Stigwood?
Now and again, but after 11 years, Merv, I've decided it's all become too much and I'm taking a 2-month vacation to recover.
You're taking a 2-month vacation?
That's right.
Aren't you going to wait to see if the profits are rolling in?
invited us all to go
No, they're having a 2-day vacation. I'm having 2 months.
We bought Bermuda for him so he could go for a holiday.
Do you think he saved his money over the years?
I don't know. It's hard to say, though.
We don't know where he's coming or going.
Between you and me, Merv, I'm sure he's got a lot piled away.
Do you think so? But he keeps it out on that little island out there called Bermuda.
Yeah, well, he's got a huge money bin.
Oh,
Like,
has he?
like, you know, like Scrooge McDuck.
Uncle
you know?
Scrooge.
He's got it?
And he's got a worry room where he just walks around.
How would that be furnished?
Very badly.
Really?
I deny all this. I live in Bermuda. I am an American taxpayer.
An American taxpayer in Bermuda?
God, people will believe anything.
When you have to have meetings, does he call you out there? I mean, you have to roar up?
We call him Minnie. No, actually, we sometimes go on holiday out there and spend it with...
Yeah, it was a
Barbie.
pre-holiday.
It's a beautiful island.
It is.
Yeah.
When you can find it, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a little to the left of...
I think the first time
It's left of New York City, I remember.
That's right. You leave JFK Airport and you get up there and then you turn left. No, right. Keep going in a straight line. And then it's there. Well, the first time we went there,
Yeah.
I remember the captain said, well, we're landing now into Bermuda. I'd never been there before. And I looked down and I saw this little thin strip of island. I thought, that must be one of the islands off the coast of Bermuda, you know. That was Bermuda.
That was Bermuda, yeah.
I didn't know where the hell we were going to land. But the captain found somewhere.
Cute little houses, pink and blue.
His is white.
Do you have a little white house?
Yes.
And a little pink.
Or a great big white house?
I have a medium-sized White House.
It is interesting with all of your success,
Meant.
where all of you have settled. I mean, you chose... You go on. I would have handed that. Do you want your own? No, that's yours. No.
We're just not mucky people, you know. We don't sticking out.
And will you clean up when you leave?
Sure.
Oh, it's interesting where you all picked to settle. I mean, you two settled in Florida. Mm-hmm. You're still with the mother country. Oh, you're with the mother country.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Robin.
Yeah.
Would you like to sit here?
Taxis. I'm out for a year, actually.
Out of Florida?
I can't go back.
Well, he's staying in bed for a year as a tax dodge.
Out of his mind. He's out of his mind. I'm out of the country for a year.
Do you all remember your first meeting? It's a story similar to Sandy's, isn't it? Somebody sent you a tape of these boys from Australia?
Yes, they did.
Under another name? Or?
No.
Well,
And I heard it, and I was absolutely astounded. It was the most brilliant harmony singing and composing I'd ever heard.
Do you remember the first song you heard them sing, Mr. Stigwood?
Yes, it was a song called Jingle Jangle.
oh my God.
I've got bells that jingle, jangle, jingle.
No.
Robin, could you sing it?
Don't sing.
No, I'm sure Ron will sing a few bars for you.
It was the most wonderful harmony singing and composing I'd heard, and they were on a boat at the time travelling from Australia to England, and I was frantically trying to find them, and I think 48 hours.
Arabia.
48 hours after they arrived in London, I tracked them down, and...
Did you make them audition for you live?
I'm afraid I did.
He came in the Savile Theatre, which is it pulled down now?
What's it?
He came in aided by 2 men, holding each arm.
Good heavens.
He had a hangover like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
He sat down in front of us.
Don't worry,
and
Rob, this is 11 years ago.
Put his head like this, you know, and said, carry on. So we did what we had worked up, which in Australia we had a nightclub act, and our act was a medley of Peter, Paul and Mary songs, ending with Morris kissing Robin.
This was a long time ago, folks.
You couldn't do it now, you wouldn't get away with it. He never saw a minute of it. He heard something and said, come and see me in my office later on, then staggered out again.
But we later discovered that he didn't have a hangover at all. He just couldn't stand what he was hearing.
Rebuttal?
He felt so sorry. He felt so sorry for it, he had to sign it up.
Slightly true.
Hangover wasn't it? We looked like death warmed up. Oh, blimey.
And every high note was a pain?
No, it was a joy, but I couldn't express it because I was in a little agony. However, in the next 24 hours, we'd all made a contract together for me to manage and record.
And those David sign anything.
And that was a really great. Yeah.
Relationships don't last that long in this business.
No, we quit.
Well,
Did you quit? Good, Marshall.
They do at RSO because we try to be a family, and it's an integral way for us to work. It's very, very important.
You are a bit of a mystery man, though, Mr. Stigwood.
He's a shadow.
Is he a shadow?
Oh, a shadow.
Is he? He's the new Howard Hughes, is he?
Yeah. Oh, I hope so.
It's not new. It's not new, Howard. I said middle.
Is he?
New.
What is it that you have? That you have this incredible ability to pick songs, to pick groups, to pick movies, to make everything a success. Do you have a great musical ear?
No, I'm tone deaf, but I think
Terrible time to admit it.
I think the lucky thing is I'm one of the most fortunate people in the world because very few people have the opportunity that I have, and that is my work is my hobby. And God bless me for being able to do that, and because not many people are that fortunate.
Now, is it true you merely picked up a phone and said, for Saturday Night Fever, I want you guys to write me 5 songs, and they knew nothing about what they were writing? They wrote...
No, I told them the synopsis of the story from the magazine article, which was the inspiration for the film. I did say to them, this is when they draw a very big, deep breath when I said, I need them next week. And they actually wrote the original score in 1 week. And had it ready for me. Absolutely.
We'll be right back with Robert Stigwood and the Bee Gees after this message. Frankie, as a spokesman kind of, as a great performer who's faced audiences night and day.
Well, don't make it... Well, you make it sound like an ordeal.
I mean that appeals to that audience.
Talent.
Is it?
Yes, I have great talent.
Francis.
No, it's true. I wish I went... We did with this special a long time ago, wasn't it? It was called Frankie Howard Meets the Bee Gees. And I didn't know what to expect because they were a very big success, and I've been running around a long time. So I was in awe of them, and I wondered how they would behave. And...
You didn't know us from Adam,
I did. I did know you from Adam. You'd made records. Yes, I did. Don't interrupt your elders.
Sorry, Francis.
That's all right. And I was a bit in awe of them. And I wondered how they're going to behave. And I thought, well, you know, I thought they'd be... See, if I may just say this, I was also very much connected with the Beatles. I knew the Beatles very well. And, thank you. They were younger than me as well. Anyway, the thing was that... may I just tell you a story? Sure. About this, I'd come back to the boys if I may. The island. And one night, the phone, they put the 3 boys who now doing She Loves Me, yeah, that was big, and they came to wanted to see me in the show. So we had a manager who ran this club. It was about 190. And never heard of anybody, nothing whatsoever. And I went to him, I said, the Beatles are in tonight. And he was furious. He said, this place, he said, is sprayed out every day with detergent. So I said, no. I said, look, I'll go out. Though when I first met the Beatles, they were very irreverent. They were very, what they might call anti-establishment. They were very outrageous. And I expected something similar. When I found Barry and Morris, Robin, quite different. They were very anxious to learn. They were very anxious to be professional. And we did sketches together, and which, as you know, because you know comedy and you need timing, and they were very eager to be helped. and they weren't at all cocky, and I was very, very impressed. And I thought, now these boys really have something more than just an ability to perform, to sing. And they have a comedic talent. They have a very good sense of comedy,
Right.
which really... Now, I'll come to the tagline of this long story.
Yes.
I'm now trying to talk Robert Stigwood into making a film with me and them where they can be funny as well as me. Do you understand the point?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to sell a package to him on your show tonight.
That's what I'm being used for.
That's right.
I don't think I'll ever ask him another question.
Boy, would you look at the time?
Yeah, that took an hour there.
I know I was...
Do you remember...
Very well done, though.
Thank you, Frank.
Did you know
Thank you.
the Beatles?
Off and on.
No, we have met about 3 of them, I think. Morris used to live next door to Ringo.
Well, we used to share the same bed.
We met Paul and
Nothing, I just thought I'd throw you in.
we met Paul and we met John, who I met John at one point in the Speakeasy in England about 1967 during the Flower Power days, where he shook hands with me with his back to me. He never met me. Well, he did in a way. He shook hands with me, but he never turned around to see who he was shaking hands
Sounds
with.
like a very strange handshake.
It was a very strange handshake, and I'll never forget it.
You've never been the same?
Are you great admirers over the years of their...
Of course. I mean, who isn't?
Right.
Everybody loves what they did, and I'm sure everyone would love them again if they could.
We'll come right back in a beat. You're constantly improving your music. Have you recorded yet the music that you want to be remembered?
Well, we believe we're on our way to recording the music that we'd like to be remembered by.
Because even the early Bee Gee music is still with us and recorded all the time. From How Do You Mend a Broken Heart?
It's a shock to us. It's unbelievable that the music we wrote 11 years ago, people still want to hear today. Totally unbelievable.
Did you realize that you were going to be such a
No.
a disco
Well, we always
hit?
had an inkling that if we kept doing what we were doing long enough, somebody might listen and something special might happen to us. We always had that feeling, but that's as far as it went. I mean, day by day, that's all it was. And,
You realize, of course, that your music has filled the discos of this country and of Europe too, with customers.
yeah.
Oh no.
We really have to thank Robert for that.
Completely unintentional.
I watched one night at Paul Anka's discotheque in Las Vegas, which is beautiful, called Jubilation. And they would play certain disco songs, and the audience would kind of get up and dance. But the minute one of your records hit, it was like the whole crowd moved to that floor.
Well,
You react before I finish the sentence. To dance.
No, I know the end of the gag. I'm really sorry.
but you have to really thank Robert Stigwood for that, because it just, the movie itself.
Yvonne Elliman was on the show recently and told a story about you. She said that she was supposed to record How Deep Is Your Love, and you took that away from her and gave it to the Bee Gees.
That's right.
Well, no, he
gave it to her?
He said,
Well, you wrote it for her.
it didn't really
I'll tell you
involve
what
Yvonne.
happened. What happened was we wrote How Deep Is Your Love along with all the other music that we've been asked to write for in the film, and it was apparently Yvonne was looking for a song at that particular time, and her husband happened to have been over at the time, Bill Oakes, who'd said at the time, hey, listen, where's Bill? Anyway, he heard the song, and what happened was he said to us that she had an album out at that particular time, which her producer wanted to release another track off that album to keep that album going rather than come with a brand new song. So we did it ourselves.
But Robert also said at the time, you've got to do the song yourself.
Oh yeah.
It belongs to you. You shouldn't give it away to anybody. So, you know.
I felt very strongly about that because when I heard the Bee Gees perform it themselves, it was one of the most moving ballads I've ever heard. And I thought it was only right.
Let me, if I may, show another clip from Sgt. Pepper. This is a clip with the Bee Gees, with Peter Frampton, and our wonderful George Burns. It's a big production number. Mr. Kite. Here's that clip from Sgt. Pepper. Watch.
For the benefit of Mr. Kite, there will be a show. We'll all be there. Later, Pablo, Frankie Smell. What a scene of a men and horses, hoops and garters, lastly through a hogshead of real fire. In this way, Mr. K will challenge the world.
Wonderful clip from Sgt. Pepper. Great energy, color, spirit. Excellent. We'll be right back after this message. That's it. Let's not work together anymore.
Oh, no, we never ever said that. We just said, let's quit.
We all quit together, right?
We all stayed in bed for a year as a tax dodge. You know.
We did split in 1970 and very late 1969, and came back together again about the end of 1970.
Saw it was useless, got split again at 1971.
You really don't want to be labeled disco at all, do you?
Because our music is a variety of different kinds of music. It shouldn't be called just that. There's nothing really wrong with the word. Glenn Miller was a disco band, if that's what you want to call disco. Right. He was a dance band, and ever since people have danced, there's been disco, if that's what you really want to say the word is. But we think there's a lot of things that we do, a lot of different things. And,
I mean, How Deep Is Your Love, which is from the film Saturday Night Fever, wasn't a disco song at all. It's just a love ballad.
Merv, I've had the rare and unique privilege of hearing some of the new tracks they're cutting at the moment.
Have you heard them?
I've heard most of the new album in production in Miami, and I think they're going to surprise the world. And I'll make a bet with you now. There's a song called Too Much Heaven that is probably one of the most beautiful songs the Bee Gees have ever written. It is magnificent.
Thank you, Robert.
Tell us
You know how much that cost us?
Too much heaven. I've got a bet on with it. How do you write? Do you all sit down and say...
We sit down, and first of all, we construct what we think is as a melody. We take it up where we think it should go up, and we take it down where we think it should go down into the verse, after the chorus, whatever that may be. We find out the whole area with just melody, and then we start to find... He's looking a dead horse. And then...
Want a light?
No. That's walnut.
Whoa! What was that?
I'm showing you now.
No. What was that? What is that?
It's a badge.
Well, I know it is. Constable of Farthingham. Good heavens, you're constable, sir.
I'm not constipated at all. No.
Sergeant Pepper. Ooh, Dade County, Florida. Huh?
You said enough now?
Yeah.
It's only
gang, he's a copper.
It's only honorary. They gave it to me so I wouldn't get any license tickets and stuff.
Get back to when you go to work.
Do you know how much money it costs, though?
Morris.
Sorry.
Morris.
Then we conjure up a title. No, then we start to discuss what the person in the song is saying or doing.
We can either come up with the title. We never sit down and on purpose, let's write. We never do that.
There's many different ways we do it. One of us may have an idea and come to the other two.
Was your dad and his music the most influential thing in all of your lives?
Well, we never heard a lot of Dad's music. He never played us a lot of his own music, but he did play us.
It was very difficult.
Our father played us what we still think is one of the best harmony groups of all time, the Mills Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And although it may seem a little dated to say that they're one of the best harmonies, they really are. It's a round, beautiful harmony that they get. And when we were very young, we listened to them a lot. And we were a natural three-part harmony group, and we were influenced by them. And consequently, other people came along, we were influenced by them as well. But firstly, our father played us a lot of those records.
There have been newspaper items saying, Barry, that you were going to produce an album for the Mills Brothers. Did I give something away?
Look at the time.
Wonderful to have you here. Did I say the magic word? Oh, I can't ask Frankie.
I knew you didn't want it to last this long.
It's possible.
Was that a translation? After... Yes, here I am.
Sorry, it hasn't even... Nothing has really ever been discussed
What
with
Barry's
anybody.
trying to say is he's trying to...
It is a rumor.
It's a rumor that he has nothing to do with.
But you do produce Andy's.
I co-produce with Albie and Carl Galut. Just a minute.
What's that got to do with the Mills Brothers?
Albie Galutin and Carl Richardson are our co-producers.
Aha.
We co-produce our own albums with these two guys, and Carl and Albie, along with me, produce other acts, such as Frankie Valli's Grease and Andy's material and all of this stuff. No, it's all true. And we more or less have two different production teams. When the Bee Gees record, the Bee Gees co-produce with Albie and Carl. And apart from that, I do outside work with Albie and Carl, which is...
How many times has it been suggested that eventually...
Thousands.
Well, I haven't said it yet.
Sorry.
They're starting to bug me, Mr. R.S. No, Robin, no, not yet. That you do sometime an album with Andy.
Yeah, well... Yeah, that's in the distant future, I think. I think Andy is doing so well on his own that I think we should just leave him alone and...
He's refusing to work with you so far?
No, not at all.
No, I know.
In fact, we just worked together. We did... he did his live show in Miami and we went...
Hello, Mother. She's a riot.
Yes. Yeah, she's sitting way over there, though.
She's 90 years old, but she's a lot of fun.
What are you doing with these millions of dollars?
She's cute, you know.
What are you doing with your millions of dollars?
There has been you had 5 of the top 10 records for a long period of time. Now, I mean, nowadays when you talk about hit records, you're talking about millions and millions of dollars.
No, it's awful, isn't it? No.
All these young people,
It can't cope.
young people making money.
Well, I don't. These long-haired gits going around earning this money, I don't know. There's no stopping. No stopping.
What do you do? What are your luxuries?
Soap.
Soap, bread, food, tea, coffee.
Help.
I have a bath every 6 months whether I need it or not.
You're kidding.
He does.
You mean the boys turn the hose on you, or?
No, we don't have to help him.
No?
We have what we consider to be our nice homes and our car and our boats.
Do you lead exciting lives, Barry, or?
I don't think so.
Lights off at 8 o'clock every night.
Really?
We always drive down the road about midnight, watching the lights change on the high street. Mind you, they're broken at the moment, so it's really our Sundays.
Barry, I mean, what, for example, would be an exciting night for you?
He goes down to the traffic lights and see them change.
Oh, does he? Gee, I always, from these stories I read, I thought they were really leading exciting lives, Mr. Stigwood.
Oh, he's got a skateboard.
It's not that cool, you know. He doesn't go clubbing and all that, but I'll tell you what, though, he goes and empties the pool.
Does he?
Fills it up again every day.
Well, this is really terrific.
Well, he hasn't got a skateboard rink, so he empties the pool and skates around the pool and then fills it back up again.
That's great, you know.
Sweeps the tennis court.
Do we have tennis?
It's your turn next week, by the way.
Frankie, have you left us? Oh, I'm sorry I woke you up there. We'll be right back after this message. Be careful, don't say anything. To know, Mr. Stigwood, why you choose not to work in this town, Hollywood.
I do work in Hollywood.
No, but I mean, base your whole operation here.
Well, when I left England and I saw Bermuda, I fell in love with the country. It's the most beautiful country. The speed limit is 20 miles an hour. And I find after the hectic show business world to be able to return home to Bermuda and relax.
Your black window moped.
Absolutely suits me.
But why he's looking so exhausted? Because he goes home every night.
He commutes to Bermuda?
It's about a 10-hour journey.
I love Hollywood, but I think I get a better perspective by not living here.
Right.
Which helps me a lot in my work.
Is your first love motion pictures, or is your first love the music business?
It's all mixed. I love music, I love television. I think is nearing 18 million double albums worldwide at the moment.
I've got 7 in my garage.
Haven't? But I mean, that was refused by the Academy to be nominated for an Academy Award. None of us could understand that.
I was shocked. I still am shocked. I think the governors of the music branch of the Academy were out of their minds, because I don't think there's ever been a more perfect marriage of music and movie together.
Right.
And I know in the hearts and of everybody in the world who's a moviegoer, they agree with me, and I think by popular consensus, the Bee Gees won the Academy Award for their music.
Without question. And of course, and the influence of more motion pictures?
Yes. When we
Anything you might regret.
I've got him right here.
You got him.
when we've all had our vacations, we're going to meet together and plan the next feature film, which will be starring the Bee Gees, and we will be announcing that after the vacation, which is long overdue for all of us, I think.
You don't want to announce it before your vacation, so...
No. That's still a little discussion.
Looks like money to me.
All right,
We'll be right back. Growing up, who's the first to show interest in the music business?
Myself.
Was it
Well,
you,
I was
Barry?
the eldest. I was Morris and Robin were like 5 or 6 years old when I first got an interest in... My first interest was Tommy Steele, who was a big British rock
How
act.
often he was on this show.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, used to be on... I first met him because he used to come and stand in the back of the auditorium. He was across the street in New York from us in our theater in a half a sixpence.
Yeah.
Half a
It's a lot now, but he's back there.
Is it? Is it?
And again.
No.
And 1955,
And
this must have been. I think I turned 9, I got a guitar for Christmas, and Robin and Morris, within the next 6 months we were doing 3-part harmony, which shocked all people around us because we were so young. I mean, especially Morris and Robin, I think it was the most surprising thing. And our family didn't really hear what we were doing until about a year or so later when we were in our bedroom, I believe, sitting on the bed and strumming and singing. And this is still about 9 and 6 years old. And our grandfather, who would hear us regularly, never mentioned to Mum and Dad that...
Well, he was walking cane, isn't he?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in here, you say?
What are you doing in the toilet? Get out of there.
We used to go in the toilet. Well, as kids, funnily enough, we used to go around and we used to look for public conveniences because the reason for this is because of the echo. We used to love singing in the toilets.
Or find big staircases which went
You
a
have
long way
to
up.
few arrests.
Great.
and your agent couldn't book too many of those.
We used to stand in places that were just echoing, like, you know, sort of big pipes, you know, to stand there and sing.
Yeah.
No guitars or anything, just
We
sing.
would sing
Because
on
the
street
echo.
corners,
Anywhere where there's echo.
We would find empty churches and
Jail
sing in
cells.
Just stand there and start singing, you know, in harmony.
Did you know great success in Australia?
I've heard the name.
No, we used to see a lot of it. We used to see a lot of it, we never had any.
The very last month that we were leaving Australia, our first single got to #1 in Australia, and that was called Spicks and Specks.
Right.
And it did also in Holland and in other strange places that weren't really part of the major music
Now, if
industry.
you were Dutch, you'd resent that.
Oh, I might, yes.
So the next step was to catch a boat out of there.
And, well, our next step was to become known internationally if it was humanly possible. We were
We bought
ambitious
sets
and...
of clogs and went to Holland.
No.
And took a tour through the daffodils.
We call ourselves the Cloggies.
And you can get locked into Australia because, I mean, Australia has a great record market of its own.
Right.
And anyone who has success in Australia doesn't really have very much outside Australia because the links overseas are far too distant. And our objective was to become known in other countries. And the best place to do that is in the US or in England. And at that time, the British boom was at its fullest, and we headed for England. We sent tapes to people like Robert and the Grade organisation who told us that it was useless.
Our trade organisation told us to take a running jump, didn't they?
They told us that...
I don't know the exact words, but I think
What is the great organization?
well, the people who handled the Seekers in those days, who were
The original
at that time
They were
enormous,
quite a big
they said, we can get you some club work, but the group scene is out. And this is 67,
And the
beginning of
guy who
67.
said that is sweeping floors now.
Is he? Yours?
No, it's those office.
But no, I'm just quoting, this is what a leading
I don't.
executive in the music industry told us, that groups were out. And that the only thing that existed now was, I'm talking about 67, was Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix and people like that. This was told to us by a person who was very important.
From the moment you,
Thanks, Merv.
Yeah.
just a little diamond we have on the show?
Like a BG
Robert-
lighter.
Oh, a BG lighter, thank you. Do you have anything else I can have?
A nice CD.
GG cigarette.
My belt buckle.
No. Anybody like a belt buckle? Yes, the whole. From the moment you arrived
Yes.
In Europe, how long did it take before your first great success?
About
From the moment that we arrived in England.
We arrived in
well,
February,
funnily
February,
enough,
March.
no.
It was a good
Good
laugh.
question. It's a good
Funnily
question.
enough, before we left, our mother her hobby is to read people's futures, read the cards.
and collect
you know.
surgical instruments. She's 90, but she's a lot of fun. And what she... But the thing about it is, she used to perform short operations in the home and never tell anybody about them.
Oh,
Yeah.
was this recently?
She could have you rolling in again. You know,
Well, she was rolling in the eye. I had mine surgically removed.
The scalpel?
What was the question again?
The question, and so your mother read something in the cards.
She used to read cards. I mean, she doesn't do it so much now, but she used to read the cards, and the good luck signs in the cards are 5s and 10s. And a lot of 5s and 10s came up the time she read them, just before we left Australia. And she said that before 5 months or 5 years or 5 something, you will have everything you want. She told us this. Our first successful record was within 5 months of us arriving in England. And I don't know if that's really anything to go by, but she was also correct in describing Robert long before we met him.
My father gave us a thick ear for a big textbook.
I won't repeat the description.
Do you see any 5s and 10s around me?
I see many 5s.
And I see lots around you and this incredible new motion picture, Sergeant Pepper. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.